right. Wow. Lighting's a little off, but we'll go with it. But hey, how is everybody doing? I'm making sure you guys can actually hear me on here, but let me see if I can change views here a little bit. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today here on Legacy Owners Live. I appreciate everybody who registered for the live show. If you are here, leave a comment wherever you are so that we know where you're coming from and what kind of questions that you might have within those comments. So I'll do my best to answer those, bring those up as we discuss more charitable strategies and philanthropic work. All right. So I have been in training all day, but wanted to just jump on, start a new season of Legacy Owners Live. We're going to be playing around with the times a little bit so that we can see what works best for everybody here, also on staff, but also any kind of guests or anything like that that we might have. So welcome to Legacy Owners Live. Here we are going to discuss philanthropy, charitable work, and how it can benefit your life, your business, and your legacy. And so our motto is live well, leave a legacy. I am Michael Glover. I am the host of the show. I am the COO of Legacy Global. And Legacy Global is a family of nonprofit organizations. Okay, we do anything from charitable strategies, charitable planning. We work a lot with estate planning attorneys, financial advisors, wealth advisors, as we implement charitable strategies into those types of plans that they have. And honestly, there's just so much that you can do with charity, right? Legacy Global Foundation, for example, is a donor advice fund sponsor. And what donor advice funds are, they're cool little vehicles that we can go super in depth into, where you can basically start a family foundation, just like starting up a checking account, right? We can talk more about that. Legacy Global programs, we do a lot of fiscal sponsorships, and that's like running your own little charity. If you're doing like 5K runs or big fundraising events, things like that, fiscal sponsorships may be the ticket there. We also do things like split interest gifts, where you're donating part of a business or part of real estate or all of real estate, and it actually produces income for the rest of your life. So there's just a lot of different charitable strategies that are out there that we thought it would be good to actually do a live show. And right now we just moved into a new building and it's being renovated. So that's why the studio is a little bit darker here. This is actually just my regular office, but soon we'll have our own studio. I'll have my own little makeshift studio here in my office, but we'll also have an actual live studio where we can give you a little bit more professional, more of a professional feel to the show. We'll also have guests. Kale Hamblin will also again be back on to the show, as well as other guests, as we talk about their charitable strategies, their charitable missions, what they're doing, why they're doing it. I think it'll be a great opportunity for all of us to kind of network a little bit, understand our charities a little bit more, and what's actually possible with charity. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about why would you choose philanthropy? Okay, there's a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different reasons why you would actually choose to do charitable work. A lot of people seem to think that you only do charitable work just because it's, a tax deduction, which can be true, but it's not the norm. And from my experience, it's not the norm to do charitable work just because you're doing things with a tax deduction. A lot of times, especially if you're crowdfunding and fundraising, you're giving a lot of your personal money, your personal time to actually do the charitable work. Okay. And so there's really not a whole lot of benefit to that side of it. Right. So when doing charitable work, though, especially, if you're crowdfunding and things like that, it's a way to fulfill like this desire that you have in yourself to give back to the community. And we do quite a bit. The Legacy family, there's quite a bit, 10 to 13 charities that we run. We do back office work for a number of other charities. And then we do all the fiscal sponsorships and the little charity activity that we have. But it's built up, quite a bit of assets where we get invited into new circles with new people, and very exciting circles, really, where people are trying to make a big difference in the world. And a lot of times that involves, places where you're doing a lot of networking with very wealthy people, celebrities, very powerful people that are trying to do really good work. And you get to be a part of that. And that's a really fulfilling job to have when you're networking with these people, but also trying to bring about, water farming in Africa, or building houses in South America, or taking care of elephants in Thailand, or even just running a small little clothing charity in Phoenix, Arizona. All of those little and big activities that you do are phenomenal. They're great. It's great to be a part of those kind of things. And so we do it as my family. I've talked about this a lot. If you followed me for a little bit, you'll know that we do a lot of charity work. We have our own fiscal sponsor within the Legacy Global family called Glover Charities. And Glover Charities does work a lot with strengthening the family and the community. And right now we have initiatives for kid leadership, which is part of the Paramount Leadership Network. But also with the partnership we have with Legacy, we're able to actually run classes for kids. Okay. Kids who want to learn leadership and entrepreneurship, we teach them maybe a better way to think, bigger think than what they might be used to. Talking to my sons, they think $50 is a lot of money. They think they've died and gone to heaven and can swim in the money like they do on the cartoons with Scrooge McDuck, right? But honestly, how far does $50 go these days? It doesn't go very far, right? So having them think bigger. What about $500? What about $5,000? What about $5 million? What could you do? Okay. And so they start to think a little bit bigger, and how leadership and business can take them there. And then we're going to take a new initiative, actually, that we've actually partnered with the Grant Cardone Foundation. And they have a program called 10X Kids. And we're actually going to take that curriculum and put it into the foster care system here in Arizona, and teach foster kids how to 10X their life, their business, their thinking, and what is really possible for them, and help them get a leg up, because being in the foster care system, they have things going against them. So we want to try and do our best to do that. And that's actually going to be called impact leadership. You can kind of see a theme here: kid leadership, impact leadership, paramount leadership. So that actually coincides with what Glover Charities is trying to do, Legacy Global is trying to do, and then also for-profit organizations like Paramount Leadership are trying to do. So that's why we get involved a lot with philanthropy, is because not only is it, good for the community and good for the kids, but it also is good for us, right? It gives us more purpose within our job, especially with working at Legacy. We do a lot of the little detail stuff, right? We're sending invoices, we're sending out grants, we're taking in donations, we're doing all of this day-to-day activity. But a lot of times we have people on boots on the ground somewhere else, and they're the ones seeing the smiles on people's faces. They're the ones giving the aid to people, but we're back here making all the stuff happen in the background. So when we ourselves get involved with it, it definitely makes that purpose of going to work a lot easier, right? Especially with the rising generation. People want to see more of an impact what they do on a day-to-day to impact the lives of other people in a positive way. There's so much negativity going on in the world that having that positivity just flood into you is absolutely important. Okay. And so, so that's just some of the things there. If you're just joining us, we're talking about philanthropy work and why you'd want to do that. If you guys want to know more information and register for future events, go to legacyownerslive.com. And that will actually take you to a landing page. You can register for the events. We're putting together a group within Paramount Leadership so that you guys can actually get the support and help you need in running charitable work. So there's a lot of different things that you can do there. Something else to think about is what kind of charitable work should you be doing? It could be anything, right? There's a number of different charities in your local area that definitely could, if you don't have the funds to fund different projects, there's a lot of different activities and things you can do with your time. and give back your time. Your time is probably the most most valuable thing that you can actually give. You could always go out and make more money, but you cannot go out and actually increase your time, right? And so there's a number of different resources. There's JustServe.org. Let me see if I have that on here. I'm going to create a banner for that. Okay, so I'm going to add that on here. All right, so JustServe.org is a website where charities can go on and post their initiatives that they're doing. No money can be allowed for that. So when you as a charity go on, you're doing things like, we're trying to collect clothes for foster care, right? Glover Charities is on JustServe. People type in their zip code, they see it's in the Phoenix area, and they can, filter the charities by the activity, right? Is this, good for everyone to do? Is it good for just women or just men? Age groups, things like that. So we're collecting clothes for foster care, right? Foster care kids come into the system. They go into a group home that may not be as well equipped to take those kids in. They do get funds to go out and get other clothes and things like that. But there's a ton of kids going into the foster care system in Arizona. It's a big problem. That's why Glover Charities is doing a lot with that. But we're collecting clothes on JustServe so people can actually come to us. They do big clothing drives within their churches or their local communities, and they'll give all the clothes to Glover Charities. We can give them a receipt for that, for what they think the value is, just like turning things into Goodwill or Deseret Industries or any one of these other warehouses. But sometimes they don't want them to go to warehouses for resale, right? They want them to go straight to charity. And that's where Glover Charities really shines, is because we don't give them to Goodwill or any of these other warehouses. We go straight to the group homes that we work with and other charities that work with those group homes and say, hey, where is the need? We have, this inventory of girls' clothes and boys' clothes. Where can we deliver those things? And so now the reason why we do that with our kids, though, our kids are really young. They're like maybe 10. My youngest is 2, so he doesn't really get it yet. But we go down and we deliver those clothes to those charities or to those group homes, and they can actually see that they're being a part of something a lot bigger. Okay. So our kids who are learning about money, they're going through the kid leadership program. They're going through the impact leadership program when that time comes. But they're also being involved in charity work. They're being involved in their community. And now they're going to be able to feel like they're a part of something bigger. It gives them more purpose. And when you have that purpose, when you have that drive, that does way more for you than any kind of school or motivational program you can go through. And that's a big part of why we do that with our families and how we do philanthropy work. So now, where does this fit in with other initiatives like your business? Okay. Your business can be a partner with your charity, right? With your philanthropy work. And it's great for business because you can tell your customers, hey, every dollar you spend, a part of it goes to charity, or come do work with us and help us impact the community together. There's a lot of different ways that you can actually spin that for your business to where it's good for your business. It also gives the charity a little bit more access and viewership to where they both benefit, right? Business starts doing better because people want to start doing business with companies who actually care about their communities. And it gives the charity more visibility to where they might get more cash donations or non-cash donations. And that also brings up another point. Non-cash donations are a big part of philanthropy. And so if you are a charity or if you do charitable work, you need to be looking for opportunities to take in non-cash gifts. Things like clothes or books or real estate, business interests, art, things like that. You'll get way more liquidating those assets within your charity than you will on cash donations. Okay. And so if you ever need help with that, that's where legacy really, really shines. And so if you need help with getting donated assets, come to legacyglobal.org or come to me, and I'll be able to give you advice on exactly how do you receive those types of donations. If it's over a certain amount, there's also some IRS forms that you might want to make sure that your donors have so it protects their donations. There's an order of which you do things, because you don't want to avoid the gift or the deduction if your donor is wanting a deduction. So there's just a lot of different things that you can do for that. Okay, so that's pretty much what I had today for our show, Legacy Owners Live. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's short and sweet for the first round, but we're going to be looking for guests if you're interested in that. If you're looking for questions or to get a spotlight on your charity, we'd be definitely willing to spotlight you and talk to you about what you guys are doing for your charity. So definitely let us know. Go to legacyownerslive.com and it will actually take you to a landing page. You can contact us there. Again, my name is Michael Glover. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and I'm just looking for the off button here. All right, you guys have a great one. Thanks for watching.